Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 10 video games almost everybody plays wrong.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Fallout series. For this one, we'll speak in the past tense because most folks do know how Fallout is supposed to be played today. However, there was a time back in the days of Fallout 3 and New Vegas where folks were just playing it all wrong. The first-person camera and shooting made many walk away thinking it was just a clunky FPS when in reality, these games were more RPG than they seemed. Still, some folks stayed because the viscera was ridiculous and the premise was interesting. Thankfully, more players got the memo by the time Fallout 4 came around. Also, Fallout 4 played a little bit more like a shooter, but that's besides the point. Roller Coaster Tycoon series. Now, we all know the ideal way a Roller Coaster Tycoon game should be played. The ultimate objective is to build the theme park of your dreams and figure out how to make it a success. But how many of us threw those dreams out of the window in favor of choosing violence? So many players wound up building complete death traps for their attendees. Many coasters exploded, many burst into flames, and many enjoyed the chaos as ratings spiraled into a game over. Why'd you all do it? For science? You monsters. Forza Motorsport series. Normally, playing a racing sim like Forza Motorsport means you are here for motorsports. You are here to indulge in a culture of class, a prestigious world of sports that requires civil conduct and an acceptance of the rules. Not in Forza Motorsport. It is not uncommon to enter a lobby only to see half of the players try to turn it into a demolition derby. Expect many to fly down the side of the road in a desperate attempt to ram the leading car. We'll admit that there is some comedy in making the high-end world of racing devolve into utter immaturity. However, if you want to really participate in a motorsport video game where most are playing seriously, well, the grass might be greener in Gran Turismo. Pokemon series. It's pretty hard to play a Pokemon game wrong, but in the old days of Gold, Silver, and Ruby, Sapphire, you could easily ignore half of the moves the game pushed onto you. Moves like Growl, Focus Energy, and Tail Whip seemed like such a massive waste of time and barely made much of a difference in fights. And so, many players most likely just loaded up on the most damaging moves and played strictly to which types were strong against other types. Modern Pokemon games have luckily done a better job at making stat-affecting moves hit just a little bit harder. The Sims series. The Sims games are too goofy to take too seriously, even with the recent Sims 4. The older Sims titles, though, were not taken seriously at all. Fans saw the game as a fun little life sim where you can make your characters and let them lead interesting lives so you may live vicariously through them. As for the rest of society, The Sims was a means to play God and make a piece of code live out the most miserable life ever. come on, anyone who touched this game can remember the number of fires they intentionally started and all those times they removed the ladder while a sim was in the pool. Psychopaths. A lot of you. Marvel Snap. From the outside looking in, Marvel Snap can be intimidating to jump into. There are so many cards that do different things and can affect the game in a variety of ways. Cards can move, get destroyed, power up, power down, and a bunch of other nonsense. But the goal remains the same. Finish the game with the most power on at least 2 of the 3 locations. Every once in a while, though, you will stumble across somebody who invests everything into one location. Maybe it's for a daily challenge? Who knows? But let me tell you, I've seen a number of people make questionable plays. I have no idea what's going on half the time. Overwatch and Overwatch 2. For a long time now, almost everyone has been playing Overwatch wrong in somebody else's eyes. At first, you had one side of the community crying out for the KD obsessed to play the objective. Then, of course, you had sweaties complaining that someone wasn't playing their roles correctly, which can happen, but doesn't justify outrage and abuse. And then you had the people complaining about how Bastion needs to be nerfed, and even after the nerfs, he still needs to be nerfed. And overall, you have just an overwhelming number of folks who think they can always shot call and boss everyone around. But how are some folks really playing Overwatch wrong? Newsflash, you're supposed to work as a team! Dokapon Kingdom.
Oh, why hello there.
In case you haven't heard of this gem, Dokapon Kingdom is basically Dungeons & Dragons if it was scaled back and turned into a crueler Mario Party. Yes, you thought Mario Party was mean? No, you haven't played Dokapon Kingdom. You and up to 3 other players are to become the hero of Dokapon and amass a crap ton of wealth to win the princess's hand in marriage.
New and improved.
Now, the game will impose certain events upon you to get everyone to actively compete against each other. But it is possible to play the whole game cooperatively and ignore almost every competitive aspect of the game. I know, because me and my roommate played it that way. Many folks probably played it this way too, just so the game isn't lasting beyond 120 turns. Otherwise, Dokapon Kingdom will just never end. Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. From Software has spent so long making games like Dark Souls. After a decade of Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring, you can almost expect what the studio is going to put out every year or two. Until the newest Armored Core came out. The game did not play like any of From Software's games from the last 10 years, and we all know, it filtered out some folks who went in expecting it to. To no one's surprise, there were scrubs complaining about how much time you spend customizing your mech when that's been the point of the franchise since its inception.
Confirmed. Juggernaut destroyed.
Grand Theft Auto series. It isn't almost everyone who plays GTA wrong. It really is everyone. So many players only ever grab GTA just to run around, blow up cars, take on the military, and be just a total nuisance without any real consequences. If that is your reason for buying GTA, so be it. Just know that you are missing out on some quality storytelling and fun missions that make the games more exciting than just mindless violence. We don't need to be Trevor every time we boot up the game.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.